Just a few announcements that I want to share with you all. We have just an update really on the SNAP program. Due to some federal changes in the technology contracts, there has been an extension to the existing technology. So customers will be able to, because there's some confusion as to whether those who are under SNAP can go to our farmers markets. So customers will be able to use their SNAP benefits at all farmers markets that accept them through the end of August. We are grateful to the National Association of Farmers Markets Nutrition Programs for providing that funding. I also want to be clear that WIC and senior farmers market coupons are not impacted. So those have not been impacted by this discussion. So if you have those, please continue to use them at our farmers market. So we want to make sure that we get that information out there. Also, we are working on long-term solutions beyond August, because this is good up until August, the end of August. I just signed a letter with the U.S. Conference of Mayors Food Policy Task Force to USDA Food and Nutrition Services. We are urging them to ensure that SNAP services remain available without disruptions at farmers markets, regardless of any transition in contractors or improvement in the technology. Mayors across the country are expressing the same concern, the impact of SNAP benefits have on farmers markets as well as on individuals, both an impact for the farmers and for the food producers and the customers. We continue to monitor this situation and are looking at short and long-term solutions for Baltimore so that SNAP continues to be redeemed and matched at farmers markets. And all customers can purchase high-quality fruits, vegetables, eggs, meats, and local food products. So that is at all of our farmers markets. So I don't know if you all have any questions, because I have Holly Freestat. She's here with us. She's our food policy director and has also worked with the U.S. Conference of Mayors. Any questions?
Can you give us some background?
Holly, you want to join us?
What exactly these changes are and what's happening?
You can join us. So I know you all know that Congress is discussing this and trying to cut off the SNAP benefits. And so especially to our farmers markets, and we are trying to just make sure, because we have some of the robust farmers markets in the country. The Jones Falls farmers market, you can barely get through there because so many families are now using their SNAP benefits there, as well as we have a lot of local farmers markets as well. So Holly.
Great. So the USDA's had a contract with a company called Novo Dia. And they've been doing the contract and processing for over 1,700 farmers markets across the country to be able to accept SNAP benefits at the farmers markets. That contract has changed, and it's gone to the Financial Transaction Management Company. And they do not have the platform yet in place to accept SNAP benefits. So the initial announcement came out, I think around 2 weeks ago, saying at the end of July, if you have SNAP benefits, you won't be able to go to the farmers markets. And they extended it through funding through August, and we're hoping that we'll continue with funding and have no disruption in farmers markets. In the event that there is a disruption, we're looking at short-term and long-term solutions.
Do you have any idea how many residents use SNAP benefits at our area farmers markets?
So we have 8 farmers markets in Baltimore City that accept SNAP benefits. 3 of them will continue to accept SNAP benefits. That's Waverly, Govans, and Druid Hill, along with our Farm Alliance farms. So Waverly is the second biggest farmers market. They will continue with no interruption at all. And then JFX is the second largest, or they're really close in size. And we're looking at short-term and long-term solutions with them. So I would say that we have a large percentage of residents on SNAP. For those who do come to the farmers markets, it's really important, but it's not a huge percentage of our city.
So USDA signed a contract with a new vendor that doesn't accept SNAP?
Yep.
Or let's just be clearer. They signed a contract and they don't have the platform in place to accept SNAP. And just so you know, if you want to follow the situation, the Farmers Market Coalition is updating it regularly and has a link on the website with updated information as it goes live.
any communications with the local farmers markets as to what they want to see happen and how they want this?
Yes, I've been working really closely with Amy Crone, Executive Director of the Maryland Farmers Market Association. This is not just a Baltimore City issue, it's a state issue and a national issue. Obviously, we're looking specifically at Baltimore City. And so we're looking at what types of technology needs to go into place. Do we need to change it? What is the short-term measures? And that this is really, from the Maryland Farmers Market Association, an economic driver for farmers and producers as well. And in Baltimore, it's that plus food security issues.
Do you have any idea or any way of quantifying what the economic impact this has?
I have to talk with Amy Crone to give you specific numbers for state. For the city, I think that we have a lot of our producers are coming from the county and the region, and then we definitely have some local growers as well.
Probably more customers than growers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any idea on what some of those short-term or long-term measures would look like? What some of those
So I can tell you some of the issues that we're discussing sort of on the national level. One is, do we wait on USDA, right? And if we wait on USDA, that puts all our eggs in one basket. Do we get our own technology and platform so that we are ready to go no matter what? And if we do that, will that technology be outdated once a new company comes in place? And then the other part is, do we want to be looking at some type of market money and incentives until the farmers market season's over, which is in November for JFX. Other markets are sooner.
Right.
So there's a variety of options, and right now we're just trying to figure out, is there going to be an extension through September, through October, through November? With no matter what, we're going to have a solution for the next farmers market season.
And don't forget, Waverly is all year round. So we're in those discussions now, and we'll continue those discussions as we continue to monitor what's happening at the national level. But we're also looking at, again, the short-term solutions as well as the long-term solutions for Baltimore City.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I also would like to announce that August the 4th is our back-to-school rally. It will be here in front of City Hall at the War Memorial Plaza from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. If it rains, because all of you, we're experiencing this big rainy weather, we will go inside the War Memorial Plaza, so it will not, it will be held regardless of rain. The event is free, as you well know, open to the public. We will have free backpacks and school supplies while they last. Parents must accompany their students. Your child can also be vaccinated there as well through the Baltimore City Health Department in the War Memorial Building. We will also have, where is he? Free parking. That's his big takeaway today. He was so excited that we will have free parking. 110 spots will be available. I know you were really excited about that. We will also have free fresh harvest giveaways by the Maryland Food Bank. So we're asking people to be able to transport the food, bring your bags. There will be arts and crafts for our young people, a game truck, face painting, inflatable slide, 2 children's fun zones, and more. Again, free parking from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Baltimore Street Garage. The entrance is at 15 Guilford. So again, we want everybody to come down and have a good time, and more importantly, take part with all the activities. Let me also remind you that the African American Heritage Festival, our 42nd annual AfriM Festival, is right around the corner. It will be at Druid Hill Park on December the 11th and 12th, Saturday from noon to 8 p.m. and Sunday from noon to 6 p.m. We have a fantastic lineup. We just added R&B singer Carl Thomas to open up AfriM, hip-hop R&B singer and songwriter Jacquees. Okay, I'm gonna Jacquees. And our headliner Ella May with her smash hit, you all boot up, whatever. Sunday, gospel singer Van Sean Mitchell. My favorite singer, of course, is Davon Fleming. And Baltimore's own Druid Hill will also be here. So we're very excited about the lineup, and we look forward to great turnout and an exciting time. So I'm open for questions.
Any comment on the City Council's mostly symbolic vote to say no, we're not going to fund $21 million of police overtime?
It's already spent, and let me just be real clear, that 2015, 2016, we froze police positions in this city. We froze them. I wasn't here. The contract that we're under, I didn't put that in place either. I think some of the folks on the council certainly were here. We were losing 20 to 25 police officers a month. That's reality in the city. So over the almost 2.5 year period, by the time I came into office, you all know, I think it was January 2017, I unfroze police positions in this city. You know, people aren't working overtime just because they want to. They're working overtime because they're drafted. And I invite anyone to go to a roll call and see the few officers that are prepared to go out on the streets. And if we didn't draft officers, we would really be short. We have a violence issue in the city, and we're trying to reduce crime in the city. Crime is trending downward, but we need more police officers on our streets, and that is a reality. So I didn't listen to the hearing. I have read what was said. But again, I wasn't here in 2015 when we froze positions, and I wasn't here in 2016 when we froze them. But nobody's looking at the numbers. Nobody's understanding where we are in terms of actual police officers working in our police department. During the period of time that I've been in office, I think we've had more classes coming into the police department than we've had in some time. We've slowed down the attrition rate from 20 to 25 down to about 14 a month, but that attrition rate still exists in our city. So we've got to hire police officers, and as I said, this slowdown from 15 to 16 will take us 3 to 5 years to get to the numbers that we need on our streets. And so that's the comment that I have.
You've previously said when the budget negotiations were happening, you previously said the police department needs to live within their means.
Well, we're slowing down. We've slowed down over time. And if the council would take time to...
I'm sorry, what do you mean by slowing down?
We've slowed down the overtime budget.
Okay.
And we invite the city council members to come to City Stats so that they too can see what's going on every day, or come to our violence reduction initiative that occurs every day, Monday to Friday, at the police department, so they can understand what's happening in the city as it relates to violence and the need for police officers on our streets.
As you talk about the coverage of officers, the police commissioner, interim police commissioner, made a pretty big deal a week ago about an officer who declined to respond to a citizen's report of a man armed with a gun. Are you confident that the citizens of Baltimore are getting the best bang for their buck out of this department?
Well, let me just say, Jane, we're under a consent decree to reform the police department. It is obvious that there is reform that is much needed in the police department. I think even if you were to sit down and have a conversation with our interim police commissioner, he would say the same thing. But in terms of the number of officers that we have on our streets, the reality is that we've not filled, we're authorized for 2,800. We don't have 2,800 police officers. You got 300 or 400 police officers that are on light duty or sick. When I came in, we were around 1,921. I think we're closer down to 2,300, 2,400, with still too many officers who are still not serving the city in terms of their availability. When I go to roll calls, I don't see enough police officers there to disperse to the streets of our city. The commissioner went inside of the police department and pulled out, I think it was another 117 folks to put on the streets of our city. That gives more to our police department, but certainly still not enough.
The bird scooters that have taken over the city?
Yeah.
Do you have any opinion on them?
Yeah, so we have a group of folks who are meeting, including transportation, to look at regulations around the bird. Some states have actually banned them. We're looking at how do we regulate them and make sure that our streets are safe.
How do you feel about their business model? We were talking about this earlier, of them just kind of putting them there and then just ask for forgiveness, and ask for forgiveness and then approval. Or...
Somebody tell me they're making a lot of money. So I said, let's get these regulations in place quickly. I think people have different kinds of business models. We prefer the ones that the bike people used when they were doing bike share. But we're in discussion now.
So
Similarly, there's regulations being formed for Airbnbs and short-term rentals. Have you been following that discussion?
I'm listening to the discussions. I'm looking forward to the recommendations that will come forth. I know we're having discussions at the city level as well.
Do you plan to sign off on the charter amendments, the one regarding public campaign financing and the one regarding the equity funds?
I haven't finished reading them yet.
Your former colleagues in the state legislature have recently raised concerns about the governor restarting the process over at State Center. Do you share those concerns?
Well, let me just say, State Center is a very important project for the city. I mean, it is, I think I have a picture back in 2010, maybe it was, when we first broke ground, or at least had a conversation, and everybody was lined out in front of State Center. We're getting ready to get this project underway, and here we are 8 years later, and there's no project. I know that the people who live in Bolton Hill and Reservoir Hill and around State Center have waited a long time for a project to move forward. There is still a great need for a first-class supermarket in that community. There is an opportunity to create a senior living community there. There's also an opportunity to extend office space there. And my concern is that we keep the employees that are working in that building in the city.
When you're a state legislator, you work with the community to help develop that community agreement.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any concern that that process will have to be started from scratch all over again with a new developer and redevelopment plan?
Well, let's put it like this. I think that the plans that the community worked out were right for that neighborhood. Those folks are still there. They want what I think is right for that neighborhood and for that community, and we will continue to be supportive of that. Okay. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.